And it's first, let me first go on record that whatever happened in Murang'a should not have happened. I think everybody has a right to express themselves, of course, within limit, wherever they want, and they can go wherever they want to do it. I think for me, the irony of this was the elected members who are in that particular environment was Munyoro, Honorable Munyoro, Honorable Methu, and Honorable Nyutu. They're the ones I saw. Now, what we seem to forget is that all of them are UDA MPs. Mm-hmm. This is a UDA government. This is happening within them, you know, and I know Honorable Nyutu will explain that they're being attacked because they support Rigathi Gachagua. But for me, a much more fundamental question is, these are members of parliament of the ruling party who are being tear-gassed by government. You know, what exactly is going on within UDA? And I was just thinking, as you were speaking, I was just thinking about that based on where we just come from, on the issue of ODM. And sometimes you want to ask if ODM was in government. Do we imagine there would be tear gas in ODM members of parliament? You see, and part of the challenge we have is a situation where we have this division that has happened within the ruling party. And that division is being pursued with a lot of viciousness and a lot of aggression by both sides. The guys who are within UDA, who are fighting government, are fighting it with a lot of aggression, a lot of viciousness. Government is fighting back at them with the same aggression, the same viciousness. And sometimes, when you don't belong to any of those, you want to just ask yourself exactly what is going on here. You know, what now we're in a situation where a lot of the violence that we are seeing is happening within a structure that we expect should all be working together to help this government perform. So I have listened to Senator Nyutu, and I hope that we will see this case being pursued through the law. We will see the people who actually did what happened. We'll want to hear exactly how did we get here. Why were gunshots? I saw pictures of vehicles with what looked like gunshot with bullets, bullet holes. I think for most Kenyans who don't belong to the government and who don't belong to UDA, they want to understand what exactly is going on within the party and within the government, and how do we get to this point. We hear Senator Nyutu say there were attempts to assassinate them, and it would be very bad if we've reached a point where government is trying to assassinate its own members of parliament. This is something we need to get to the bottom of, and I saw yesterday they went, I think, to IPOA, and I really would want media and Kenyans to keep their eye on that particular case so that we get to the bottom of it. And even as I hand over this space, there's just one thing I want to clarify that Senator Nyutu took us back to, about this, whether this is a practical handshake that Raila has done with Ruto vis-a-vis the other ones. If you remember in 2007 when Raila did a handshake with Kibaki, it came from ODM people having been killed. I mean, bodies were piled in mortuaries. Nobody expected Raila would survive that handshake. The amount of betrayal the general ODM person felt, that Raila had gone and shaken hands with the president who had actually led a government that had killed a lot of its membership. Bodies were lying all over the place, barriers were being done everywhere. Nobody expected Raila was going to survive that one. He did. So I think I'm not sure whether he's going to survive this one. But the history has been very interesting with Raila. He has gotten into handshakes with people that nobody expected he was going to survive politically with. When he did a handshake with Uhuru in 2019, he had just come from very violent demonstrations. He had come from swearing himself in as the people's president. People like Meguna never survived. They've never recovered from what they feel was an acute betrayal. But Raila is still around. So he's not a guy to write off just yet.